This is Josh Sadlier for Edmunds, and if you know crossovers, you probably know the Acura MDX, but you might not know that it now comes as a hybrid. The 2017 Acura MDX is Acura's three-row crossover. Big news for this year starts with the styling. You've got new headlights, got slightly restyled rear end, but really the action is more up front. There's a new pentagon grille. Those headlights are kind of crazy. Acura clearly is going for a lot more visual impact on the front end in particular. Under the hood, there's also some big news in the form of a new sport hybrid model, making it the third Acura model to adopt sport hybrid technology, but interestingly, this is not the powertrain from the RLX full-size luxury sedan. This actually has a 3-liter V6 instead of a 3.5 for the gasoline part of the deal, paired with an electric motor up front, 2 additional electric motors driving the rear wheels, total of 325 horsepower, which really isn't that much more than the regular V6 gives you, but with that electric power, front and rear, you get a lot of instant-on torque whenever you squeeze the throttle. That's going to make a difference on your test drive. As with any hybrid, fuel economy takes center stage, and in the case of the sport hybrid MDX, we're talking about 25 miles per gallon in the city, which is way better than the regular all-wheel drive MDX's 18 miles per gallon in the city. So if you do a lot of low-speed driving around town, you're definitely going to notice you're buying less gas. If you get the sport hybrid version of the MDX, you're also going to have a new active sport suspension, which Acura says improves handling in what's already a pretty sharp handling crossover. Another thing to mention for 2017 is the inclusion of a number of high-tech safety features as standard, including forward collision mitigation with automatic emergency braking. Stepping inside the 2017 MDX, there's not a whole lot new visually. Under the hood, there is a new dual clutch transmission that's paired with the sport hybrid system, so when you see the shift buttons go by, there's not a lever in this one, just buttons there you see on the center stack. That's what that'll go to in the hybrid's case. Same dual screen infotainment layout we're not big fans of, same gauges as well. Those are nice and clear. Sporty steering wheel, as is the norm in Acura products. But things are looking a little dated in that gauge cluster. You can see the trip computer in the middle. There's the dual screen setup we were talking about. Now there's a touch screen below, and the screen above is controlled by that knob, which is below the touch screen. It's not the most streamlined or user-friendly system, but Honda's doing what they can to make it work. And there is the transmission gear selector. Again, dual clutch setup with the sport hybrid, conventional automatic with the regular engine. Decent storage under the armrest, and got some wood grain there. You're sliding back to access some USB ports. Not the most convincing wood trim we've ever seen, but there it is. In the second row of the MDX, you can see that legroom is at a bit of a premium. In a vehicle this size, you might expect a little more, but again, that depends in significant part on how tall the folks are sitting in front. Second row occupants do get their own automatic climate control functions in this model. Got some cup holders there, more wood grain. As for the third row, again, in a vehicle this size, you might expect a lot of space, even adult-sized space, but in the MDX it turns out not to be the case. It's actually relatively cramped back there, and to be honest, if you're looking for extra room in the third row, the Honda Pilot, the MDX's cheaper sibling, is a better bet. Behind the third row seats, the MDX actually doesn't give you that much room, about 15.8 cubic feet. That's not that much, size of a typical midsize sedan's trunk, but when you fold down all the seats, things get considerably more generous. Fold down the second row seat backs as well, and you're looking at about 91 cubic feet. That is quite generous for a mid-size 3-row crossover. Competitors for the MDX really boil down to two right now that stand out. You've got the Audi Q7, fully redesigned, and you've got the Volvo XC90, also fully redesigned, both bringing a bit more style and flair to the table, but the MDX is going to beat them on value. For more on those and the new MDX, go to edmunds.com.